cue the music, cue the lights, ladies and gentlemen. That we're up on Jacksonville's fifth best Jaguars coverage. Not the first, not the second, not the third, not the fourth, the fifth best. And that's a fuck you. One final fuck you to Texans fans. I've been trying to be nicer to Texans fans, and I sincerely am sorry that you lost today. But I felt like I needed to talk about your game a little bit, and I'm working on getting a natural light sponsorship, so let's crack one open real quick. Hold on, bear with me. Let's crack one open. And cheers to the Texans losing. As a Jaguars fan base, hats off to you, y'all. You blew an opportunity to go to the Super Bowl, and I'll tell you exactly why. Your defense is incredible. Hats off to those guys. I watched the Texans versus the Steelers and versus the Patriots. Your defense is out of this world, and we're going to go over your game today and what a missed opportunity it was for not only the Jaguars but the Texans as well. But for the Texans, it was down to one guy that really screwed up for him, and we'll talk about that today on Jaggin' Off, home of Jacksonville's fifth best. Not one, not two, not three, not four, the fifth best, and that's one final middle finger to Texans fans. Now, I'm going to try to be nicer to Texans fans. That was a New Year's resolution that I had, was I need to start being nicer and maybe clean up my language on this show. I've been bantering with Texans fans throughout the season on this channel, message board on Facebook called the AFC South Battlegrounds, and one other one, I forget what it is. They all bash on the Jags. They think we're terrible. They think Houston's the greatest thing since sliced bread. They think CJ Stroud is the best thing since sliced bread. But, my dudes, you missed a golden opportunity, and the Jags did too. I'm recovering from the loss last weekend against the Buffalo Bills. It was tough. I was at the stadium, and I think a big contributing factor to our loss was just because we didn't have any pressure on Mr. Josh Allen. He was incredible. I was there. I had a bird's eye view. I was about 10,000 feet in the air in the nosebleed section, and I saw the offensive line of the Buffalo Bills create a perfect wall around Mr. Josh Allen. He was back there. He was reading the defense. I think he lit up a heater. I could have swore he smoked a Marlboro Red at one point. He gave his girl a call who was at the Golden Globes at the time. Haley Steinfeld or whatever her name is. Who gives a shit? But shame on you two for not going to the game and going to the Golden Globes. And you weren't even nominated for an award because you're a mid-actress. Mrs. Trevor Lawrence's wife, Mrs. Marissa Lawrence, would never do that to the Jacksonville Jesus, so shame on you. But I digress. There was no pressure, and I truly believe that's why we didn't make it to the divisional round, because if we would have got a little bit of pressure on that man, we could have beat them. We saw that against the Bills and the Broncos, that the Broncos got a little bit of pressure on Josh Allen, and they got him a little rattled, and he made some mistakes, and that just didn't happen for us. But I just felt like I'd make a video to wrap up my thoughts about the Jaguars and Bills. And then I want to talk about this Texans game. We'll start off there first. I have a little PowerPoint. I always make these on Jacksonville's fifth best YouTube channel. Not one, not two, not three, not four. The fifth best. Not going to flick you Texans fans off. I feel bad for you. I honestly do. And we'll start with you. You're an incredible team, Houston Texans. You might be the best team in the AFC South. I'll even give you that. You know what I mean? You were completely set up for a Super Bowl run. And two, the bracket just played out perfectly. All you had to do was beat the Patriots. Then you would have had to play the Broncos. Same with us. If we would have just beat the Bills, we would have had to play the Broncos. And with the dude, Mr. Bo Nix, now has a broken foot. So all the Houston Texans had to do was win today, and they would have played a Bo Nix-less Broncos to make the Super Bowl. And your defense covered for so much ass play by one player. One player screwed it for him. And let's go to the first slide. Your quarterback, Mr. Houston Texans fan, all the crap that you've talked about Trevor Lawrence, all the homophobic content that you've slung his way just because he has long hair. I can't get behind that. I'm sorry. Show some respect. Who cares? I'm not going to make this a political thing, but show some goddamn respect for people. All the homophobic stuff you said about Trevor Lawrence and calling us fag wires, calling us Gayville, calling Trevor Lawrence a fag, all that. That's terrible. You shouldn't do that. It's just nasty content. Don't say that. Have a little respect for people. All that stuff you said about Trevor Lawrence, and your quarterback played like complete ass in these playoffs. My God, he was terrible. I watched. First start with the Steelers game. I'm not even going into the Patriots game. Against the Steelers, this guy did everything he possibly could to tank the game against the Steelers. It's like he had a side bet going on. Like maybe he's in trouble with Vegas. Maybe someone should investigate that. That he was just turning the ball over at a rapid rate. I think he had like 4 fumbles that game and 1 INT, and then he did the reverse this game. He had 4 INTs and 1 fumble. The man in the playoffs, your quarterback, the guy that you've said is the best quarterback in the AFC South consistently, over Trevor Lawrence, over Cam Ward, over Daniel Jones. You've said that CJ Stroud is the man. He had 5 interceptions and 5 fumbles in 2 NFL football games, playoff games. And your defense covered for him so much. I feel so bad for that team. I even feel bad for you sorry-ass Texans fans. There's some good people that are Texans fans. I'm trying to be nicer to y'all. But your defense covered for his piss-poor play. You can see his picture over here to the right. He is ass. The defense against the Steelers, they gave up the ball 4 or 5 times that game, and it only resulted in 6 Steelers points because the Steelers are not any good. They had Aaron Rodgers running for his life. And honestly, cheers again to the Texans losing. Whoa, one more. And honestly, I want to give 2 players a real shout out on the Houston Texans. And I wish that these guys were on the Jags. My God. Mr. Danielle Hunter and then Will Anderson, those guys are studs. My God. Today, against the Patriots, they had 5 combined sacks. I think Will Anderson had 3 sacks, while Danielle Hunter had 2 sacks and I believe 2 strip sacks for strip fumble sacks, which they recovered. These guys cover for your quarterback so much. All the quarterback had to do in this game against the Patriots, because the Patriots weren't doing anything until the 4th quarter, when I think the Texans defense legitimately just got tired and sick of CJ Stroud's bullshit, and they were like, we're not going to win this game unless we score points. And they just got tired and they ran out a little bit of gas at the end. That's how the Patriots got the 28 points. But man, those 2 were playing out of their minds. If you took those 2 players and put them on the Jags, if we traded Josh Hines-Allen and Trayvon Walker, and I love you too, Josh Hines-Allen is a great captain, a great person, and a pretty damn good football player. Same with Trayvon Walker. You're a pretty damn good football player, not a great pass rusher. Neither of them this year were great pass rushers, but Trayvon Walker does some great things on the football field. He has a lot of talent. He has a great attitude. They're both great players, and I'm proud to have them on the Jaguars, but there's just certainly levels to this. And Josh Hines-Allen and Trayvon Walker are definitely like a B-tier guys, maybe A-tier on their best day, but this Danielle Hunter and Will Anderson, dude, they're just elite pass rushers, and you can see how important that is in an NFL game. Elite pass rush and a great defense. The rest of their defense is pretty damn good, but those 2 dudes in particular, an elite pass rusher can make up for a lot of things, including terrible ass quarterback play. This man was just turning the ball over for fun. It was like you get interception. It was basically, it was like the Oprah show, and CJ Stroud was just like the lead guest on it, just throwing out prizes. You get an interception, you get an interception, you get an interception, you get a fumble. It was comical. Like, he was just throwing the ball up. He did not give a shit. Then these dudes, Will Anderson and Danielle Hunter, had to come in and be like, oh, holy shit, Stroud, you did this again? You put us in a bad situation. We got to cover your ass. And that only works for so long. You can't win games like that consistently against better teams. I don't even know if the Patriots are that great. Who knows? We'll see what they do against the Broncos. I honestly don't think any of these teams from the AFC are going to win the Super Bowl. I would be shocked. I've said it for a while. The NFC is better this year. The Seahawks or the Rams, who I have this game on in the background right now, are certainly teams that might win the Super Bowl, that probably will win the Super Bowl. Thank God it wasn't the Texans. You can mark me safe up from the Texans winning the Super Bowl, but I feel bad for these dudes. Let's take a look at C.J. Stroud's stats today. He was 20 of 47 for 212 yards. He had 1 touchdown and 4 INTs. Man, I mean, I remember Trevor Lawrence throwing 4 INTs against the Chargers in 2022, but at least he made up for it, and he came back and threw 4 touchdowns in the second half. I truly think that the Houston Texans would have done everyone a favor and their fan base and their organization a favor if they would have just pulled him in half. He didn't do anything that game. Davis Mills might be the best quarterback in Houston. Think about that. And I've been saying that on these message boards for a while. I've seen both CJ Stroud and I've seen both Davis Mills play in Jacksonville. I've seen him play Jacksonville, play on the road against these guys, and I've always been more impressed with the play of Davis Mills. He, in my opinion, is a better quarterback than CJ Stroud. In my opinion, really doesn't mean shit at the end of the day. I don't know a lot about football. I mostly banter and drink natural light and just spout off and all that. Cheers again. But, man, Davis Mills, I don't think would have turned the ball over that much. Now, I know Texans fan is going to say he's a game manager. He doesn't have the elite talent. Who gives a shit? With your team, the way that's set up, you don't have to be an elite talent to win football games. You just can't turn the ball over all the time. You just have to get a few first downs, kick some field goals, and give your defense a rest. Make sure they're not on the field the entire damn game. Now, I would never actively root for the Houston Texans. I don't like the Patriots, but I have some friends. Shout out to dudes that have subscribed to my channel. One dude in particular, Preston, I've worked with him. Another dude, Justin. I'm sorry that your quarterback is such ass. And I've said, put Davis Mills in. I wish the Houston Texans organization the best of luck, but each year they get to the divisional round. That's their benchmark. And when you get there over and over again and the same results keeps happening, you have to find a common denominator for it. And the common denominator is this man on the right. He's not any good. He's ass. This defense that you guys have, and good job on the coaches and the GM for drafting all these studs and putting together a good roster and not missing. Like, even though I hate the prick Al Zaire, whatever his name is, the linebacker who had that dirty hit on Trevor Lawrence, he's a damn good player. Stingley's a damn good cornerback. Now, their defensive roster is loaded. Even their offensive roster, they had a lot of guys that were injured today. You know, you can use that as an excuse, fine. Nico Collins being out is a big loss, but CJ Stroud is not any good. He is so bad. And this argument that, you know, Houston Texans fans and Jags fans, I mean, I wouldn't put either CJ Stroud or Trevor Lawrence, maybe I wouldn't even put them in the conversation as the best quarterback in the NFL. But when we're talking about the AFC South, let's not ever have this conversation again about CJ Stroud being better than Trevor Lawrence. And I don't want to hear it. CJ Stroud has brought his team to 3 divisional rounds and lost, and Trevor Lawrence has only been there once. Look at the eye test. Look at them play. Look at their stats. If you put Trevor Lawrence on that team tonight, I guarantee you he would have gave you a W. He wouldn't have turned the ball over that many goddamn times. He would have. One thing too that CJ Stroud doesn't do, which he's like, has a little bit of athleticism. He never runs. Just take off and get some damn yards instead of throwing an INT. My God. Well, I'm over this argument. Trevor Lawrence is way better than CJ Stroud. He always will be, and he probably always has. CJ Stroud had a phenomenal rookie year. He's been very mid to ass ever since. Let's not ever have this argument again. I don't want to see it on any message boards ever again. Trevor Lawrence is elite compared to CJ Stroud. And that's enough said about the Texans. And in the middle there, Texans, holy shit, your quarterback is bad. Like, how you had everything in front of you. All your quarterback had to do was not throw the ball to the other team. So that's enough about the Houston Texans. They're sorry. We'll move on to the next slide, which is what I want to call missed opportunity with the way that the playoffs have shaped out. Because you can see here, of course, we lost to the Bills. I'll touch on that. I had a whole video about this Like and subscribe to my
Brother's a
channel, and you can
dog.
watch my other videos. You don't even have to like and subscribe. If you want to watch my other videos, I have some interesting banter about the Bills game, which I did right after that loss against them, which was very tough to handle. And I was at that stadium and walking out of it, and I was very sad. And I think this was just a huge missed opportunity this year. It was great that it was Liam Cohen's first year, and we should take pride that we've turned around a team that only won 4 games last year to a team that only lost 4 games this year, and we had 13 wins. That's incredible. That's incredible for year one. All the players deserve a pat on the back. Mr. Liam Cohen, great coaching. You deserve a pat on the back. I don't agree with everything you did in the game, which I talked about in my last video. I'll touch on that briefly. Mr. James Gladstone, he almost, oh man, I'm watching this game in the background. He almost never has any missteps. Everything he's done, we don't even know how Travis Hunter is going to pan out, but I really like the move of trying to go get him, and surely he'll help out our defense next year. He almost never missteps, and he always is very aggressive in making moves, which I like. Our last guy, Trent Baalke, never would do any of the shit that he does. That move for Jacoby Myers really opened doors, and I'm glad that he's here on this team for the long run. And I've almost made it 18 minutes without mentioning BTJ, which is a record on this channel. We're not going to talk about him right now, but everyone in the organization deserves a pat on the back. But at the end of the day, I'm just upset because I believe this was a missed opportunity. If we look back 5, 6, 7 years, when Trevor Lawrence, he's 26 from now. Let's go 10 years in the future when he's 36. I still think he'll be on this team. And if we never make the Super Bowl, which I don't know, you never know in a given year how teams are going to be. The ebbs and flow in the NFL, it can change rapidly, but you never know when you're going to be in the playoffs or when you have an opportunity like this. But I think we'll look back at this year, 2025, as a huge missed opportunity, losing the 3 points against a Bills team that is very gettable, in my opinion. I don't want to use the classic cliche of we lost the game instead of they won the game, but I truly think that we blew it a
Wow.
little bit. Starting with, and I talk about this in depth with my full video of the Bills game, but we blew it when it came to that 4th and 2, going for it instead of taking 3 points. That's 3 points right there that we needed because we ended up losing by 3 points. We went for it. Liam's been doing that all year. If he looks like a genius, if he gets it, and he'll say the analytics say go for it and all that. That's all fine and well. Cheers to the Texans losing. But in the playoffs, points matter, and we didn't get those points when we really needed them. Then number 2, and this is minor. I'm not going to get mad at the guy. Cam Little's been excellent all year. He might be the best field goal kicker in the NFL. He has a bright future ahead of him. He's really young. He's only getting better. He can kick the ball a country mile. But then again in the playoffs, he missed a 52 or 54-yard field goal when we really needed it, which was unfortunate. That was 6 points that we left off the board, which if you look at the final score, give us those 6 points, it would have been 30-27. Now, you never know what would happen in the second half. If we had all those points, we might have played differently, something like that. But I think the biggest missed opportunity, and I think it's the biggest thing that needs to be addressed on this team, is the defense. Is they let us down a little bit. Trevor Lawrence got us the lead in the 4th quarter. The Bills came back and scored. He got us the lead again with 4 minutes left in the 4th quarter, and we couldn't stop Josh Allen. And that's mostly because we couldn't get a pass rush. He had all the time in the world to sit back there and do whatever he wanted, which, we have some guys back there in Mr. Josh Hines Allen, Mr. Trayvon Walker. They're good players. But at the end of the day, they failed the mission right there. And if you look at the Texans, that's what elite looks like. Those guys are constantly wreaking havoc, no matter the opponent. They had 5 total sacks against the Patriots today. I've never seen a performance like that out of Josh Hines Allen and Trayvon Walker combined. A good day for them is if each of them have a sack. They hardly ever have a 2-sack game, which is what it is, but we've spent a lot of draft capital on these guys, and I'm going to make a full video sometime on decisions that need to be made on re-signing people and all that. Trayvon Walker, I wouldn't give him a huge contract right now. I would play it out in his 5th year and see what happens. Let's see if he explodes his 5th year and has like a 15 sack game, and that could just be that could be because it's a contract year and he's trying harder. I don't know. To me, right now, he just doesn't seem like the long-term option as defensive end, and someone may certainly pay him a lot of money to do it, but I've seen what elite looks like, and I'm giving Houston Texans fans and team props. You guys have an elite defensive pass rush. It's crazy, and I think that is the single-handedly the biggest reason why the Jaguars didn't move on to the divisional round, which the way the bracket would have played out, I guess we would have went and played over and played the Texans. Or no, we would have went over and played the Patriots, and then the Texans being the 5th seed, they would have went and played the Broncos. So I don't know. That Patriots team didn't really impress me. You know, Drake May, I'm sure he's going to be a great quarterback. He didn't do anything that, you know, blew me away today, but you don't know how it would have played out. But certainly the Broncos, with Bo Nix getting an injury where he's not playing, the next round, I mean, you'd have to favor the Patriots winning. Like, there's just such a clear path to the Super Bowl, and it's unfortunate that we didn't get an opportunity to make it that far and get a chance at it, because we just kind of got punished with Josh Allen in the first round and we couldn't do anything to stop him. So it's really unfortunate. That's all I'll say about that. I don't think that any team from the AFC is going to win it. The Seahawks are on a roll. They won 41-6, as you can see over here on the right side. So it's just, it's nuts. I'll look back always at this season and think it's just a missed opportunity. I don't know how things are going to shake out, who we're going to lose on this team, but you just don't know when you're going to get in these situations again. You don't know if you're ever going to see a Jaguars team that, has 13 wins again. It's just, it's unfortunate the way stuff played out. But I'll end this video on a positive note, and that's the future is bright. You can see right there, the future is bright. I designed this slide myself. I thought this was pretty excellent work by myself. And the future is bright because of one thing. We have the best quarterback in the AFC South. There's no debate about that. And that's a Jaguar here on the left. It's the best mascot in the AFC South by a mile. The Texans have a garbage ass bull, steer, whatever it is. They're trash. The Titans mascot is trash. The Colts traditional, I like that, but a Jaguar is way more intimidating than the Colts. And then, or a Colt. But the thing that we have that's better than everyone else is we have Trevor Lawrence. He's the golden boy. I think Trevor Lawrence, we can win with him. It's just, we need to get the final pieces in here. We need to make our defense a little bit better. I think we're fine on the offensive side. I don't know, like I said, what's going to happen with this team and who we're going to lose. And I plan on making a full video, like a free agency video here soon. Like and subscribe if you like this content. But Jaguars fans, let's just take a deep breath right now. Everything's going to be okay because we have this guy over here to the right, William Trevor Lawrence is actually his name, and he can lead us to the promised land. And I think that a lot of these other teams in the AFC South, including the Texans, need to take their foot and stick it in their mouth for the stuff they said about this guy, because he is by far the best quarterback in the AFC South. And we've seen it with the trash can quarterback, CJ Stroud, throwing not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 picks in the playoffs. 5 picks in 2 games, just like the 5th best channel in Jacksonville, Jagging Out. This is your boy, Sean Fitzpatrick. I hope to make some more content here soon over the offseason. Let's have a productive offseason. Let's make some moves. Let's get the final pieces in here, Mr. James Gladstone. And as always, I'll end with a Duval. Take us away, Liam Cohen.
Jacksonville, the community. Duval. How do we do this together?